What's up, everybody? It's Draymond Green. Make sure you subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel below so you don't miss any more of this great content going forward. I recently put out a tweet, and it was, number one, how do you feel about comparing eras? This era
It's oblivious.
to that
It
era.
doesn't make no sense.
I think it's ridiculous.
It makes no sense because, like, you cannot compare the 60s. And granted, I did see what Jerry West said, and I love Jerry West. He's an OG, and he's
Absolutely.
a savage for what he said, because that's some real shit.
It
You
is.
know what I mean? Listen, you got it. You got it.
Hey, ain't
But-
nobody saying nothing back to Logo.
You definitely
got it,
not.
champ.
No, sir. But it's certain things you can't compare. Like, and I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but like the point guards of today are unbelievably talented.
Mhm.
They're way more elite than any point guard in the history of any, like, you know what I'm saying, from an
Mhm.
athletic standpoint. Granted, Magic Johnson, yes, he's coming in this era and he's whooping ass. Straight
in
up.
any era.
Any era, he's
Yes.
whooping ass.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas, he's whooping ass.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Allen Iverson, he's whooping it. It's all relative. So you're just thieving the joy out of a lot of things when you just compare and you want to like do that. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like I saw your tweet. You talked about the game was from the free throw line and in, right?
Absolutely.
Y'all are just gonna pack the paint, right? And you're just gonna be on the string defensively, right?
Facts.
But what are they gonna do? Like, granted, they're gonna have a game plan and a scheme too.
Mhm.
But y'all have seen that. Y'all understand and know how to play that. They, in the 90s, would never see playing 4-point line defense.
Absolutely.
They've never seen that before. You guys have seen it. So that's
Mhm.
already the advantage. In my eyes, at least.
Hennessy celebrates those who never stop, never settle, and their never-ending pursuit of greatness. Maurice Ashley lives his passion. An inspiring story of intellect and brilliance, his ability to push the potential of his own mind to new levels of greatness is universally inspiring. In the world of the mind, there are no limits. Hennessy, never stop, never settle. If you want to learn more about Maurice Ashley, visit www.hennessy.com. 21 plus, please drink responsibly. I agree 100%. Like, people has been, it's a three-part statement, actually.
Right.
And the first part being, I don't understand why people compare eras, but when they do, I had a question. Do they take into account the difference in styles? Because there's no way they can be taken into account the difference of styles. Because I am sitting here watching, and I was literally sitting, I watched the entire game 5 of the 1998 finals,
Mhm.
Chicago Bulls versus Utah Jazz. And I'm sitting here watching the game, and I'm like, man, Rodman is incredible. Like, MJ is amazing. Pip, incredible. Karl Malone, insane. John Stockton, although they had his ass bottled up, something crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Him and Hornacek had no chance. They had no chance. And I'm appreciating all of their greatness, right? But I'm watching it, and I couldn't help but say, I just don't understand how you can compare us to this team.
Right.
Not that Michael Jordan isn't great or the greatest player, or however you want to slice it. It's not taking anything away from that.
Right.
Not one bit. But just the style of basketball alone, I mean, there's a guy catching it at the free throw line, a guy cutting to the corner, and a guy flashing to the post.
Right.
There's no spacing. And so I'm watching that, and I'm like, the point that I was making was, you see what I'm saying? We'll beat this team by 20 and we'll beat them by 40. The actual point that I was making is, and that's why it's dumb to compare eras.
It's dumb. And then it's also play styles and it's officiating. Well, are we going to play with handshakes or are we going to play freedom of movement?
Facts.
Right? There's certain teams that can get away with certain things. Like, I believe if the Showtime Lakers, they would fucking dominate this era. Because they were, I was watching Magic in the 80s, just highlights like earlier in the summer. People don't realize, he was fast as shit.
Yes, he was.
No, he was fast as hell. Like, he was getting the rebound.
Yes.
up the court
By
in 3
everybody.
dribbles.
Mhm.
And that's the NBA now, right?
Absolutely.
Right or wrong. Kill. But certain teams might have been a little different. Great.
Mhm.
You have great players, whatever. Jordan being this era, he's averaging crazy numbers too, regardless.
Mhm.
Even crazier numbers.
For sure.
Right? Now it might be a different type of if Jordan played in this era, it might be like, yo, ain't nobody touching him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from a point standpoint, a championship standpoint. But you can't compare it. It's just too tough.
That's my whole sentiment. I hope people one day understand that. Do you remember AOL? Are you old enough
Yeah,
to
you got
remember
mail.
AOL?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Dial up.
Can you compare AOL to high-speed internet today? Of today?
No chance.
Was AOL great when we used it?
Amazing.
Okay. The internet great,
Amazing.
but just because the internet great doesn't mean AOL wasn't great when it was being used, right?
You can't compare AIM Messenger to DMs, bro.
Why in the fuck can't we do that with basketball? Like, it does. You do not have to minimize Michael Jordan's greatness for LeBron James to be great. You don't have to minimize LeBron James' greatness for Steph Curry greatness. And it pisses me off that people do that with basketball. They don't do that when it comes to a founder of this company and a founder of that company. They don't do that. They only do it when it comes to sports. And you know who do it when it comes to sports? These lousy ass clickbaiters that's saying stuff for clickbait, that's making terrible comparisons so they got something to talk about tomorrow. I'm sick of it. And it's crazy because the only thing they talked about today was the comparison I made. And you actually missed the entire point. They start comparing immediately when I said it. And I knew they would, which is why I framed the statement the way I did. A question, a crazy-ass statement like y'all do, and then the message. And they missed the question and the message and just saw the crazy-ass statement. So, my brother, I want to thank you for coming on to the show. That right there is the new media. Y'all hate it, but you better love it. Don't get stuck on the wrong side, because I'm telling you, a lot of these guys are getting caught on the wrong side of it. And you can come over now before we close the door.